Now, but the tech rally, we had a huge rally, right? Most of the year, losing a little bit of steam over the last week or so. Datadog, Supermicro, NVIDIA, they're all among this week's worst performers. Even Apple has been dropping lately, but your next guest expects any pullback like this one to be short-lived, and he is reiterating his bullish call for a much as 15% gain for tech, just macro tech, I guess, before the end of the year. Let's bring in Wedbush's Dan Ives. Dan, is that a macro tech call?
Not really. I mean, to us, what we're seeing from enterprise spend, I think in terms of where we see guidance, and I think the AI revolution, the fourth industrial revolution, is now taking hold. And we believe this is just halftime of a new tech bull market underway.
Who's going to drive it? Because stocks go up when there's more buyers than sellers.
So I think big tech ultimately is driving. I mean, if I look from a cloud perspective, we've seen upticks from this earnings season, from Microsoft, of course, to Amazon with the flex the muscles quarter, Google. And what we see going to the second half, I mean, we believe ultimately spending could increase 400 or 500 bips on the cloud. And that ultimately is going to be driven from what we're seeing on AI, and that's going to drive cybersecurity. It's going to drive broader enterprise. And I think many investors here are not positioned well, where we believe going in 2024, we see tech stocks up another 20% from these levels.
Well, I don't know if you heard Stephanie Link a few minutes ago, Dan. If you did, I'll just reiterate what she said for the viewers that maybe you didn't either. It's Fortinet, right? FTNT, a cybersecurity company, got crushed. Fell like 20% last week. If cybersecurity, Palantir, I know a name that you cover and like. If this is the future, and we know what a threat cyber is, why are they selling at the drop of a hat with a number that slightly misses?
Because I think right now there's nervousness, right? Not just in terms of Fed backdrop, but in terms of maybe how some of these names have run, and you're not yet seeing that parabolic growth. But ultimately, when I look at Fortinet, that's a table pounder. I look at Palantir, another table pounder. Microsoft continues to be our top pick, and I think the best tech name out there is Apple, where I think we sit here a year from now, we're looking at a $3.5 trillion market cap. iPhone 15, we think is going to be a mini super cycle. And I think that right now is just the sentiment, glass half, when I say glass half empty relative to tech. But I just believe this is just get out the popcorn moment to what I view as a massive second half rally for tech stocks. And you still love a Rivian, RIVN, the electric truck and SUV maker. I mean, look, to me, they are a core EV player. And I mean, you've talked about a bunch. And when I look at what Tesla is doing, you look at what Rivian, there's going to be many winners. And I think what Rivian's now finally turned the corner from a supply chain. Demand looks strong. And this green tidal wave is playing out. And that's why I just continue to take a step back here. It's a 1995 moment, not a 1999, 2000 moment. Internet, 1995, I think it's the biggest transformational tech trend we've seen in 30 years, which is why I view this as a bright green light to own tech, despite many yelling fire in a crowded theater. It does feel like artificial intelligence, AI, is maybe could be the biggest transformational thing, maybe perhaps, and tell me if this is hyperbole, since basically the creation of, say, the World Wide Web. I mean, it's a way that we change the way we worked, right? You had the internet, of course, dial-up modems, things like that. The web comes out, AOL makes it accessible, Netscape. It feels like a Netscape kind of moment in a way, if that makes any sense. Brian, I mean, it is. And I think that's why it's a 1995 moment, not 1999, 2000. We're talking about incrementally $1 trillion of incremental spend next decade. That's why when I look at a quarter, knee-jerk reactions of some of these quarters in tech, I view that as just table stakes relative to where I see these names going over the next 12, 18, 24 months. And that's why we're hand-holding our clients through this, because I view this as more of an opportunity, not the time to hit the elevator.